Here's how I generate $2 Medspas leads for my clients. So I'm in an active ad account for one of my clients, and I'm going to go through the results I've got over the last 6 months for them. We can see that for the last 3 campaigns, which have been the ones that I've performed over the last 6 months with them since I took a handover from their old agency, I have averaged £1.67 leads in one of the campaigns, £2.32 leads in the other campaign, and £4 in the last campaign, which is more of a high ticket campaign. So it makes sense why it's this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to narrow down into this one specific campaign. As we can see, High Food Promo Feb 23. That just basically tells us what the promo is and when it started running. We can see that I've got 988 leads over the last 4 or 5 months with this campaign at £1.67 a piece, which is pretty good. And overall that I've spent is £1,600. Now, if we go down to the previous agency that worked with my client, we can see that they ran the exact same campaign, obviously their style, and they spent £3,662, which is over double what we spent, and they got pretty much the same amount of leads, longer time frame. So my efforts are working. They have halved the client's expenses and doubled the leads in half the amount of time, which is amazing. And I'm just going to go through a couple key metrics that show how this has happened, how I've managed to halve the cost per lead and double the amount of clients that have converted. So as we can see, cost per 1,000 impressions, CPM is £7.79, which is quite good for Medspas, and we can see that the previous campaign was £9.16, so we've smashed that. And over a long period of time, when you're spending a lot of money, this really adds up because it dictates how many people see your content. Now from that, we have a all-time click-through rate of 6% for this campaign, whereas the other campaign has 3.95%. so not only are more people seeing our ads compared to the previous ads because of the cost per 1,000 impressions is lower, but there's also more people clicking through. So you've got a lot more engagement on the ads as a whole. Now, because of this, cost per click, cost per link click, so every time someone clicks on the lead form is pretty much half, and that dictates how many people are converting to the lead form. So if you're getting more people to see the content, if you get more people to click through the content, and you get double the amount of clicks for the same price, then you're obviously going to double your results. So with that being said, let's actually jump into the campaign and show you how I've done this over the last 6 months and exactly how I've built this campaign to work out this way. First of all, you have the campaign level where you dictate where you want to allocate your budget, which way you would like to do it, and there's not much to put in here. You really just name your campaign. We name them by a promo and the date that it starts, so it makes sense for us. You can do it however you like, however it makes sense for you. Some of these options are already chosen for you, but we choose our campaigns for lead generation, and we do it by auction to get the most amount of leads possible. Not in all circumstances, but this campaign specifically we use CBO, so campaign budget optimization. So Facebook automatically finds the winning ad sets and allocates the budget accordingly. So for this campaign, it's really not a lot of money. It's less than £10 a day. So jumping into the ad sets section, we have 4 ad sets that we like to run in conjunction, starting with a broad audience to gather data, as well as interests to test certain interests. Once we have acquired enough data, for example, if this is a new client, we would only run those 2 to start with. Once we've acquired enough data, we then start using lookalikes for form openers specifically, and then we use a warm audience so that we can get people that have already engaged with the ads. So those are the 4 ad sets that we run at any given time, but to start with, we always start with a broad and testing interest so that we can gather enough data to then use the next 2. And to add on to the warm audience, what we use for the warm audience is website visitors, form openers, Facebook and Instagram engagers, and video viewers for the specific product or service that is being promoted, to be able to put the ads in front of these people who are more likely to convert in the end. So breaking down the broad ad set is pretty simple. Broad is no interests. The middle section is age, so 18 to 65, and the last section is women, so we're targeting specifically women in this campaign. The location that you want to convert them is on instant forms. If you keep them on the app, you're going to get a lot more leads, because when you send them to landing pages and stuff like this, people lose interest and want to go back to Facebook. So when you actually submit a lead form, it's very seamless. You just click a button, it's already got your info in, you click another button, you're basically done. So a pro about this is you get a lot more leads. but a con is that you get a lot of people that have no idea that they even done that in the first place. So you have a lot of awkward phone calls where they go, did I do that? Or I don't remember doing that, this and that. Oh, you're a scam, this and that. It's what makes sense for your business, but most people it will be instant forms. Again, performance goal is maximize the number of leads because we want to get volume. It really is a numbers game, especially getting on the phone. We've experimented with higher quality leads or leads that are more likely to convert, and it does not work nearly as much as number of leads. The quality is pretty much the same, so it's best to go with maximized number of leads. The location will be specific to your target area. For example, in this one, it's just the city of Nottingham. It is very close radius because in England there's a lot of towns nearby, there's a lot of Medspas near each other, so we can't really target more than 10 to 12 miles away without basically losing to other people. So that's how we do it, and it's much more narrow in London. If you want to advertise in London, you'd probably have to reduce that to about 5 miles to get people that will actually come in your clinic. Bear in mind, if you are in London, you're going to have to run a lot better of an offer to get people in the door because they can always go somewhere else, as there's a lot of clinics. Age 18 to 65 as mentioned, gender women, no interests, behaviours or demographics being targeted. Coming down to placements is very important because it dictates where your ad is going to be shown. Now there's a lot of placements that Facebook applies automatically to get you to spend more money, and the best way to counteract that is by clicking down on to manual placements and selecting your own. Now the ones that we find to be the best and that get the most engagement and get the most conversions are feeds, so literally Facebook and Instagram feed and nothing else. There will be times when you can use stories and reels, but for the most part people convert on feeds rather than stories and reels. So generally when you're running ads, it will be best to run with feeds. And what this does, by reducing the amount of placements that you have manually, you get to funnel more of your budget into the placements that matter and the ones that you care about, because if you spread yourself too thin like Advantage Placements does, you will see that your results drop off a lot and you get a lot less conversions, especially if you're running on a low ad budget like we are. This ad set is labeled different because this was from months ago, and obviously I've learned a lot of things myself. But what I would now call this ad set is a narrow ad set, and what we do is we test different ages which are more specific to the client base that we're trying to approach. So here for example it's 45 to 65, and we test some interest. You can see a rookie mistake here is there's a lot of interest bunched together, and we no longer do this. This is why this ad set has been off for the last few months. We now test interests 1 or 2 at a time, and we get better data from that, so we see what exactly is working and what is not. Here you would expect to see 1 or 2 interests and again the target age. And the reason why we run a narrow and a broad is because even though you want to specifically target these people, running a broad ad set is very beneficial because you might get people that fall outside of this for whatever reason. People might put their birthdays in wrong, and people also might not engage with the interests that you set. For example, there might be people that are very interested in the skincare product but show no interest to skincare on Facebook, and Facebook figures this out very well automatically when you run a broad ad set. So to sum up, narrow ad set is very simple. Again, same locations and same placements as well. So for the lookalike audience, it's literally just a custom audience of form openers in the last 90 days, and we do a 1% lookalike of these people. And again, the same location. We keep the age, genders and detailed targeting as open as possible because we're already being very specific with the lookalike audience, and we again use the same manual placements, which is just the Instagram and Facebook feeds. This campaign doesn't have a warm audience ad set yet, but I'm going to build it in here for the sake of the video. So we name the ad set warm audience. We click on instant forms because that's where we want to generate our leads. We then select maximize number of leads rather than conversion leads, as we previously talked about. You select your page there when necessary. You then use the location targeting. Unfortunately, Facebook has taken away all of the options which included living in or passing through the area. Now it's just everyone, which is a bit annoying because the leads have gotten a bit worse in quality, but nevertheless one less thing for you to do, I suppose. Now you select your city. Obviously obviously 16 kilometers is quite a bit, but given the location, I think that will be fine for now, just for the sake of the video. I'm putting in a quick location. So advantage audience, this is where Facebook tries to do it automatically for you so that you don't click on the other options, but clicking on the original options and the manual ways of doing things gets you a lot better results when you know what you're doing. So if we switch to the original audience options, we're going to add in all of our warm audiences, so our Facebook engagers, anyone that's engaged with our Facebook in the last 365 days, our Instagram engagers, anyone that's engaged with the Instagram account in the last 365 days, our form openers for this specific campaign, our video viewers for this specific campaign, and website visitors if you have it. This client does not have it, so we will leave that out for now. Age, gender and detailed targeting we leave all open because it doesn't really matter anyway, as the only people that are included in this targeting are people that have engaged and people who are warm, so it doesn't matter about filtering these things out. Lastly, advantage plus placements. You can see that Facebook is trying to get you to do it the automatic way because it seems like it has your best interests at heart, and if you're a complete beginner then it does, but if you are watching this video you're going to be quite clued up, so you know that it does not. Now if we click edit, we are going to go over to manual placement and we're going to see all of these new placements that come out. So you can see that now instead of spreading your ads in 2 places, you're now spreading yourself really thin in 17 different places, and a lot of these are really unnecessary. For example, audience network. Audience network are partners of Facebook which happen off of the app, so if you're on a website and you see an ad, it could come from Facebook, and it gets very spotty there because people are less likely to engage with this, and in fact with audience network people rarely ever engage with it, so we're definitely turning that off. Search results, we don't want to be found by searches because very few people are going to be searching. We don't want in-stream ads, we don't want any stories or reels for this specific campaign because we get a lot more engagement through feeds. We don't want any of the explores, any of these feeds. We just want the pure, plain and simple Facebook and Instagram feed, which gives us 2 out of 17 placements. And once that's done, you publish that and you move on to the ads. So let's get into that. So if this campaign was just starting out, we would test 2 images and 2 videos at the same time. We've found our winner, so we've stuck with this one, video 2. This ad is overly simple, so what you do is when you come to actually building the ads, you add a picture or a video and then some text which talks about your ad, which entices people to engage with the ad and submit the lead form to get some sort of offer in return. Building the ad itself is really important because you need a good offer to run. It doesn't matter how good your content is, if you have a crappy offer, unfortunately you're not going to get a lot of leads. Even if you've got the best looking videos and the best copy in the world, it's just not going to happen. As you can see, the copy here is mediocre. It does talk about pain points and there is a call out, there is a solution, as we can see there is credibility here, and then there is the offer which is half price. So a 50% discount for this treatment means £400 off, which is obviously a very big discount, and it is one of the cheapest services in the surrounding area, if not the cheapest. So by running this kind of offer, we entice people to come into the clinic and to not hesitate about taking this service at this price. And again, we reiterate that in the video, which is a fairly mediocre video, but because the offer is so good, it actually negates the mediocrity of the video and of the copy. So first figure out your offer and then you base your text around that, calling out any pain points, again giving them a solution, giving them credibility, and then giving them the offer at the end, and providing them with some scarcity so there's only limited spaces so that it can go at any time, which gives people an incentive to hurry up a bit. Then you have the headline, which is just a simple call out to tell you what the ad is about, and you have a description as well, which is a bit harder to find, but again it talks about the ad and you can go into a little bit more detail about the ad here. And the call to action button is get offer, because you're submitting your details to get some sort of offer from us. And the form is as follows. It's very simple. It's hi, just fill in this quick form to redeem your discount. It's on the next page. And a lead form here, which is name, phone number, email, so that we can follow up with them on the back end and sell them onto the services. Mandatory privacy policy by Facebook. Congrats, here's your discount. Now some booking systems have an automatic discount, some don't. So for example, this one doesn't. We say your discount is now saved to the details you've given, which it is saved in our CRM. You can now visit the website where it'll be automatically half price, and they click on visit the website, and then they're presented with the booking system page. Now if you have your own website, you can run it to your own website and you can run your own discounts. If you have a booking system that runs discounts, you can again run it to the booking system and give them the discount on this page, and that's pretty much it. Once they come off the web, it's up to them to book. Most of the people do not book by themselves. It's very rare that they do. I would say that maybe 1 or 2 a month for my client actually books themselves, and the rest I book in, which is around 20 to 30. You have to do a lot of work on the other side, but this is how you get $2 leads for Medspas clients. And just to show you what the creative is like, I'll just run you through a quick play of the video here so that you can see it.
Half price HIFU face lift in Nottingham. Lift and tighten your skin. Smooth wrinkles and fine lines. Reduce jowls and saggy skin for a brighter and more youthful look, with results that improve for months after treatment and last up to 18 months. No surgery, no incisions, no needles, and most importantly, no downtime. Click the Get Offer button below to redeem your discount.
So with that being said, I hope this gives you a good insight into how we run ads for our Medspas clients and how we get them amazing results and get them a lot of leads, which we then convert into a lot of sales, ultimately more money for their clinic.